Welcome to Toronto in the Rogers Center. This is the third and final game of a three-game set against the Baltimore Orioles. Blue Jays looking to sweep the Orioles. Buck Showalter's team has lost the first two games. They lost the opener 6-2, lost last night 8-6. Take a look at the lineup. Adam Jones has been on fire. He's riding a 20-game hit streak that's tied for the longest in the major leagues this season. During that streak, he's hit .358 with 3 doubles, 8 home runs, and driven in 17. He's the cleanup hitter. Chavez, Hardy, and Davis, top of the order. They're set to take on Brandon Morrow.
Brandon Morrow just wants to move away from his last start, which was the shortest of his career. 6 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 2/3 of an inning against the Texas Rangers. Didn't record a strikeout for the first time this season in a game. So he was ready to go. He's had plenty of rest.
Andy Chavez, the leadoff hitter, takes a first pitch strike. Chavez just back from the disabled list. He came into the ball game last night as a pinch hitter and hit into a fielder's choice. 131 for the season. Morrow off to a good start, 0-2.
You know he was just chomping at the bit to get back out on that hill after having to sit around for the last 5 days waiting for this day to come.
Went right for the juggler with that inside fastball and missed. Career against the Orioles, he's 2-2 and is making his 7th start against Baltimore. 1-2. Slider Chavez got a piece of. This is the toughest aspect of a starting pitcher's role. He got bounced in Arlington after 2/3, and then he has to sit around and stew on that for 5 days.
You get your regular work in, and nobody works harder than Brandon Morrow. Gets to the ballpark early. Just couldn't wait. And last night, I think it showed in the Ricky Romero start how Brandon Morrow early in the game was up cheering and standing and clapping and rooting on his buddy in that starting rotation.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Popped in the air toward left field. Rajay Davis gets there. Chavez is retired. That's the first time in the ball game.
Good start for Brandon Morrow. Let's take a look at the scouting report brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Fastball, he throws it 58% of the time, and his average velocity is right around 93 miles an hour. The slider probably is his best pitch. It's the second most used pitch, and batters this year hitting just 149 against Brandon Morrow's slider. So I think that's a good pitch, and he uses it after the fastball.
First pitch strike to J.J. Hardy. Hardy's the shortstop. He's now 29 years old in his 7th season. 2nd year with the Orioles. Popped up into center. Colby Rasmus walks in a couple of steps, 2 outs. Omar Vizquel making his 5th start of the season at second base. Kelly Johnson still bothered by that sore hamstring, so Vizquel gets the start tonight. You could see it in Johnson's defense last night. A couple balls he just couldn't move on. He also had a rough night at the plate, 4 strikeouts. He went 0 for 5 in that game, so he gets the night off. Chris Davis moves into the 3rd spot. Nick Markakis injured his wrist last night. He's not in the lineup tonight. 9th inning, Markakis batting against Casey Janssen jammed his wrist on a swing, and you could see he was hurting. He eventually lined out, but he's not in the lineup tonight.
It was an inside cutter by Casey Janssen, and he just couldn't get extension. You can see he did something to his wrist.
Now that's a wicked slider right there.
About 87 miles per hour with that slider. His strike percentage with it is very high, also over 60%. So when he's got it close to the neighborhood, the strike zone, that's where he'll pick up a lot of strikeouts with that pitch.
1-2. That fouled off Davis's foot.
You know, the pitch that he throws the highest strike percentage with is his changeup. something that he has worked on and he has improved on in the spring training. Just a little something extra for the batter to think about.
Another 1-2 pitch. Foul out of play. Brandon Morrow deserves a lot of credit. He was drafted by the Mariners in the first round. They used him out of the bullpen initially. Then they had him going back and forth between the bullpen and the rotation. But once he got here, Blue Jays identified the fact that he was going to be a starter. And the early days of his tenure here with the Blue Jays were rough. He bought into Bruce Walton's program and stayed with it. And never once, even through some tough times, did he deviate from that program.
Always working, always trying something better to make himself a complete pitcher. Brian King was telling me the other day that after his start, remember the start he had against the Mets where he threw a complete game shutout? Next guy in the clubhouse the next morning, first guy, Brandon Morrow. He was there at 8 o'clock in the morning.
97, he can reach back for a little extra and still command the strike zone. Something he couldn't do early on. But he has worked so well with Bruce Walton to get his mechanics down pat. He and Davis having quite a battle here.
Oh.
My sentiments exactly, Pat. Looked like strike 3. Danny DeMute, the veteran umpire, didn't like it. And Morrow has to regroup.
Yeah, he's going to have to reach back now. That one just called off the plate by the home plate umpire. Certainly high enough, about belt high. Napier and Seavey held it there just a little bit longer to try and get the call.
So with Davis at first, 2 outs, red hot Adam Jones will step in. Mentioned Jones is riding a 20-game hit streak. Bouncing ball, Lawrie to his left in plenty of time to force Davis at second. Brandon Morrow has a quick first inning. His last start, a distant memory. Top of the order, Escobar, Rasmus, Bautista when we come back. Rogers Center trying to get the crowd going, throwing t-shirts into the seats. They took batting practice earlier today and had a pretty good time done it. Blue Jays are 2 games over 500. Colby Rasmus moved back into the 2 spot tonight. Over his last 9 games, Colby is hit .342 with 5 doubles, a pair of home runs. He's driven in 6. Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion starts for the 15th time at first base. Brett Lawrie, David Cooper, J.P. Arencibia, Vizquel starting at second, and Rajay Davis had a big night last night with 3 hits.
Baltimore Orioles have lost 3 games in a row, so they couldn't ask for a better stopper to take the mound for him tonight in Jason Hamill. Hamill's 6-1 with a .278 earned run average, which is 6th best in the American League. The Orioles are 7-2 in games that he has started. His last outing was one of his best of the season. He pitched 6 scoreless innings against the Royals, struck out 7 batters and beat them 8-2. This is the 3rd time that Hamill is going to be facing the Blue Jays this season. He's been great, just giving up 2 runs in 12 innings against Toronto.
He's kept the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed just 3 home runs all season long. Blue Jays didn't hit a home run in last night's game as they won 8-6. Top of the strike zone. Escobar. You now in the leadoff spot with Kelly Johnson out of the lineup tonight. Breaking ball. Andino waits on it at second base. Escobar is retired.
Mason Hamill is a good pitcher. 6'4", is just coming into his own. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Hamill. He'll turn 30 in September. His fastball, he gets off of that, he cuts it and he sinks it. The slider, 23% of the time, he will use that pitch. The biggest difference this year between Jason Hamill and the one that we have seen in the past is he's throwing more strikes. He has doubled the first pitch strikes in his career this year, so he is really attacking that strike zone with his fastball.
Colby Rasmus. Rasmus has been attacking early in the bats recently, and that's got him swinging a hot bat. He hasn't waited around very often.
A lot of the Blue Jay batters, when they were going through that offensive funk, they were really trying to work the count.
Rasmus, a little flare into left field, and Chavez on the run makes a running catch. Chavez making his first start in left field since coming off the DL, saves Jason Hamill a base hit.
Came a long way for that ball. Watch how deep he is playing in left center field. Recognizes where that ball is, and with his good speed, runs it down. Good play by Chavez in left field. That's a position that the Orioles have had 6 different left fielders start games for him this year.
Jose Bautista. It's the first pitch strike. Hamill's a quick worker. He's one of those guys that not going to overpower you. He's going to beat you with location and movement.
When he's down, he's really good because his ball cuts and sinks naturally. He's got one of the highest ground ball percentages in the American League, just behind Henderson Alvarez in the AL. So he's a lot like Alvarez with a better curveball.
Yeah, the difference is he's got that wicked breaking ball. Herman Manley down at first said no swing on that check swing by Bautista. It's 2-2. Full count. Over 300 for his last 9 games. Bouncing ball. Big hop for J.J. Hardy. In time, Jason Hamill has a 1-2-3 first. bobblehead day. Blue Jays will take on the Boston Red Sox. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Yunel Escobar bobblehead. Yunel's bobblehead is the second of 3 bobbleheads in this year's collectible set. The others include Brandon Morrow and Ricky Romero. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Sunday, June 3rd, Yunel Escobar bobblehead day. Top of the second, Matt Wieters will bat. Wieters, the switch-hitting catcher, goes after the first pitch and pops it into foul territory at third, but Lawrie battling that wind and makes the catch. So far, Morrow has had a little extra hop on his fastball, and the Orioles have gotten underneath those pitches.
Putting it in a good spot also. One of the problems that he had down in Texas, he couldn't get the ball down. He couldn't throw it where he wanted to. Couldn't get the breaking ball over. He had 3 walks in those 2/3 of an inning. But tonight it looks like he's got good fastball command.
Mark Reynolds takes a pitch in the dirt. That last start, Brandon faced 10 batters in 2/3 of an innings, gave up 6 runs on 5 hits and walked 3. It was a rough start for sure. Tonight's a different story. Reynolds has gone 3 for 7 in this series. He's had a double, driven in a pair. Just .227 in his career against the Jays. .3-0.
Reynolds has some good bat speed. He's got some power in that bat, so I wouldn't be surprised if Buck Showalter turns him loose here.
Yeah, he strikes out a lot, so why not give him 3 full swings?
Right, 3 full swings.
Upstairs, a 4-pitch walk.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Wilson Bettermeat playing at third base tonight, batting just .214 for the season. He's a switch hitter. First pitch breaking ball in the dirt. Bettermeat had a rough night last night. He was in left field. Committed an error, had a couple balls get past him.
Yeah, just didn't look very comfortable out in left field last night. 4th start out there.
There's a base hit into center field. Mark Reynolds goes around second. Rasmus has to get past him, but Bautista's right there to back him up. So Bautista saved Rasmus an error. You can see Betterman hit that ball off the end of the bat and got a fistful of bees. Bautista back up to center fielder.
Colby Rasmus was thinking about trying to throw it out Mark Reynolds going first to third, so he's going to got to come a long way. He's going to come hard, get down, and then just looks up just a little bit too quickly. Heads up play by Bautista to back him up.
Good job, good teamwork out there as Jose went all the way over directly behind Rasmus and probably saved a run. 1 out, runners at the corners. Brian Flaherty gets the first pitch strike. Flaherty is starting in right field for Nick Markakis, his second start in right. We mentioned Markakis injured his right wrist in last night's game. He's out of the lineup at least to start. Cut on and missed. Markakis, he is the everyday right fielder and a good one. He had a double in last night's game. He was 1 for 5. You can see he's got his wrist all wrapped up. But that occurred in a 9th inning at bat against Casey Jansen.
He's had a good month of May also. He's hit 6 home runs this month.
0-2. Breaking ball pulled foul.
You know, he just blew a couple of fastballs by Ryan Flaherty. Wouldn't shock me if they came back with a little bit higher fastball here to get the strikeout or possibly a pop-up. Those first two pitches, just he didn't pick them up.
Slider bounced in the dirt. When Morrow's good, he's got great fastball command. And when he's on, he can throw it anywhere in the strike zone. In, out, up, and down. And few hitters can catch up with it. Lined off the glove of Escobar, and Reynolds comes in to score. It's a base hit and an RBI for Ryan Flaherty, his third RBI. The Orioles have taken a 1-0 lead.
Doesn't have a whole lot of at-bats, but he's had a couple of starts against the Blue Jays this year. Just going to fight off this fastball. And Escobar cannot come up with it on the short hop. Trying to smother that ball, but it had a little English on it because Flaherty hit it off the end of the bat.
Now the number 9 hitter, Robert Andino. Andino has been at both ends of the lineup throughout this series. Last night he hit top of the order. Breaking ball is popped in the air. Rasmus coming in and makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order. First and second, 2 outs. Andy Chavez last year was with the Texas Rangers, hit .301 with Texas.
It's a good fourth outfielder for him. He can play all three of the outfield positions. He's getting a chance to play a little bit more regularly because of all the injuries that the Orioles have had to their left fielders.
Nolan Reimel was their best offensive player when he went out with an injury, and he's battling a bulging disc in his neck. The pop up, but it's behind the screen, out of play. Don Wakamatsu keeping an eye on J.P. Arencivius just in case somebody takes off, or making sure that J.P. gets in a good position should there be a steal attempt here, even with 2 outs. There's a good fastball.
Well, he's got a good fastball tonight. And really driving it down to the lower parts of the strike zone. Orioles have been able to come up with fouling off a lot of tough pitches so far in the first couple of innings. There's another one. Elevating the fastball. Davis fouled off a couple of sliders. His first time up before walking. Tough pitches. Same thing with Reynolds. Well, he had a 4-pitch walk. Bedemy fouled off a couple pitches. Morrow has yet to record a strikeout.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Andy Chavez. Got it. That hard breaking ball does the trick. The Orioles get a run, but they leave 2 base runners. Brandon Morrow gets his first strikeout of the ball game to end the second. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone is EcoSpark, an organization connecting youth with nature. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Edwin Encarnacion starts things off for the Jays here in the bottom of the second inning. Baltimore up 1-0. Hamill throws that comeback fastball away from right-handers, and it really is a tough pitch.
Yeah, it's been a good pitch for him this year as he built together that 6-1 record. The biggest difference from Hamill's, other than more strikes this year, is his pitch usage. He's using his fastball a little bit more often. He's using his slider a little bit more often. Change-up and curveball, he's taken those pitches and he's not throwing them as frequent as he was last year. It's paid off. He's become a power pitcher in my mind, and a front of the rotation type of starter, because he can go deep into the ball game. He can strike guys out if he needs to. Throws plenty of strikes.
One and two. Encarnacion, high and deep. Chavez looking up. Forget about it. Home run, Encarnacion. Number 17.
Edwin homered the other day. That was against Tommy Hunter on a breaking ball. This time they challenge him with a fastball. He wanted that comeback two-seamer again to the outside part of the plate. It doesn't get there. It gets right into the wheelhouse of Encarnacion, and see off the back wall.
Only the fourth home run Hamill has allowed this year, and that was a fastball about belt high, and Encarnacion squared it up.
It's the first home run given up to a right-hander this year by Hamill. And that's how dominant he has been against righties and lefties, keeping the ball in the ballpark.
Back to even. 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the second. Brett Lawrie was in the 7th spot in last night's game. He had 3 hits, drove in 3, scored 3. Been bumped up to the 5 spot tonight. Breaks his bat. Little comebacker right to Hamill. So Laurie's retired. David Cooper will come to the plate. Cooper is the DH tonight. After this half inning, Andrew Tinish, the director of amateur scouting for the Blue Jays, will join us in the booth and bring us up to date on the upcoming draft. It'll start next Monday. Such an important part of the Blue Jays building their foundation. Blue Jays have 5 picks in the first 60 spots. There's a line drive down the left field line all the way up against the wall, and Cooper is headed for second. David Cooper has his first extra base hit of the season on a hanging breaking ball out over the plate.
You pitch him in and he'll pull it. You pitch him away and he can hit it the other way. Curveball waits on it and just slashes it down the left field line. Keeps this ball fair as he slices it for his first double of the season. He looks so comfortable this year. So much different than what we saw last year.
2 different stints with the ball club last year, and his first one, end of April, early May, wasn't good. But boy, when he came back in September, he was a good hitter. You mentioned Jason Hamill having a heck of a year. 6-1 this year. You look at his career, 34-45. Started out in Tampa Bay, went to Colorado, came to the Orioles via a trade for Jeremy Guthrie. But he has had an exceptional year, and it's not unusual for a guy 29 to just kind of figure it out.
Find an extra pitch, throw more strikes, understand pitching just a little bit more, and get out of Colorado where the balls fly out. But if you saw that whip number, the walks and hits divided by innings pitched, he's not walking as many people as he had in the past. He's had a much more aggressive approach this year than what we have seen in the past.
JP Arencibia. Arencibia was 0 for 3 with a walk in last night's game. Breaking ball, and Arencibia strikes out. It's the first strikeout of the game for Jason Hamill.
Late breaking slider. And his slider, batters are hitting just 150 against him, so he'll use it for his strikeouts.
Omar Vizquel steps in. David Cooper at second with 2 outs. Oh, it's fun to watch Omar hit, isn't it? Very patient. Never really gets too excited. Knows what he wants to do.
Has the ability to slow the game down. That's the one thing that I see from Vizquel.
Got a little mini hit streak going. 5 for 12. With the injuries to Escobar and Kelly Johnson, he's got a little regular playing time here this last week.
Or, you know, he's going to knock him in with a base hit into the outfield. He might have to hit a double. The outfield are very shallow, especially Chavez, the left fielder. You can see how close he is in left field. Same thing with Adam Jones.
Taking all the way, 3-1. Full count. Hamill set, checks on Cooper. Breaking ball. Vizquel strikes out. But the Blue Jays have tied it here in the bottom of the second inning. Edwin Encarnacion, a leadoff home run off Jason Hamill. His 17th of the season. It's a 1-1 ball game. Quickly to the big leagues, and for the Blue Jays, the draft is the lifeblood of their organization, and we are pleased to be joined now by the director of amateur scouting, Andrew Tinish. And Andrew, I guess you must be awfully busy with the upcoming draft starting on Monday.
It's a busy time. We've been in meetings the last few days, and now we're about 6 days away, so we're excited. We're fired up, ready to go.
It's an interesting time. The Blue Jays have 5 picks in the first 60 picks, so obviously you've got some good spots, and I'm sure you're really trying to get all the information as possible and try to sort out how you're going to use those 5 spots.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. It's the 4th year in a row we've had extra picks, and I think anytime you get that, it's it can really work to your advantage. You have a chance to add some good players to the system, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job the last few years, and hopefully we'll do the same again this year.
Blue Jays have a theory. Are they going to go for signability or best player available?
Well, it's it's kind of a unique year, I guess. We got a new system in place with the new CBA, so I think that teams are really sort of feeling things out. Players are trying to feel things out. As far as a philosophy, we're looking for the best talent, the best available player, and hopefully we'll be able to sign that player.
Now, how long have you been on a particular player? Say you've got a high school player coming out. How long might you have been watching a particular player?
Sure. It really, the 2013 draft starts about a week after this year's draft. So, there's really no downtime. But our scouts have been, they follow these players as juniors in high school, and the process is really longer than a year. Building at bats, building innings, just trying to get to know these players, their makeup, how badly they want to play pro baseball, that sort of thing.
How do you keep it all straight with so many players and everywhere where you have to cover, and then how do you rank them so you take the best player available?
It's very challenging. You're sitting there, and this isn't like the NFL or the NBA draft, shorter rounds. We have 40 rounds. We have about 1,000 players that we've turned in for this draft. And, we don't rank necessarily all 900, 1,000 players. Obviously, the priority are those top guys, that top 100 or 150 players. But it's a challenge because you got a room full of scouts who may scout a different way, different opinions, different experiences. But, we do our best as a group, and hopefully at the end of the day, we line it up the right way.
Here you see the Blue Jays slots and where they're going to draft, and you have the 17th, 22nd, and then you get 50, 58, and 60. How many players might you have prepared to take in that 17th spot?
Well, look, anytime you're picking in the back half of the first round, it's really a challenge as far as, who's actually going to get there. I think at this point, we got a small group of players that we feel pretty comfortable are going to be gone in front of us. But, really, you get outside the top, 8 or 10 picks in a draft like this, and opinions vary at that point. So there may be someone there that we're not expecting to get there. Maybe a couple of guys we hope will be there are not going to be there. So, look, at the end of the day, it's about lining it up and hopefully getting the guy that you want.
This will be your 3rd draft. How important is it to have a relationship with your scouts? And we might have you finish that question after the next half inning as the Jays get a 4-6-3 double play to end the top of the 3rd. We're tied at 1. Andrew Tinish with more when we come back. Jays amateur draft, and when you look at your first draft, 2010, give us the background of how this draft came together and you ended up with so many top-level prospects in that draft.
Sure. It was, I guess we were implementing a new philosophy when Alex took over as GM, and obviously a lot of the players that we ended up taking up high were pitchers. It wasn't necessarily by design. It just worked out that that's how the board lined up. we took Deck 11th overall, and he had a great year last year in high A and double A. And he's off to a slow start this year, but we still feel like he's got a lot of ability. He's a pitcher who pitches 90-93, throws a lot of strikes with a good slider. And really, the Sanchez, Syndergaard, Nicolino, those players in particular have really done a great job and are moving quickly for high school guys. They're in Lansing right now. They're all pitching very well, and we're really excited about all three of them.
How are you going to keep them in Lansing much longer?
Well, fortunately, that's not my decision.
You turn them over to development once you sign them, huh?
Yeah, and you know what? I think development's done a tremendous job with those guys. They're young. They're young, but they're aggressive. They've all got, big physical bodies. They've all got good arm action deliveries. They're good athletes, and I think maybe the most important thing to make up competitiveness really stands out with those three.
Was there a point in that draft, in that first round, you saw 34 and 30, I think, were Sanchez and Syndergaard.
Yeah.
As you saw them falling down the board, were you hoping that they would get to you?
I think that with Sanchez, here we go.
Rajay Davis, after being knocked down, goes deep. They rattled his cage and he answered. His third home run of the season.
The best way to combat a pitcher when he knocks you down, comes up and in like that, take him deep on the next pitch, and that's exactly what Davis does. A controlled swing this time from Rajay Davis. Sitting on the 1-0 fastball, he gets it on the inner half, and watch how fluid he is through the strike zone with that bat.
Second home run that Hamilton has allowed here tonight after giving up 3 all year. Talking about the draft with Andrew Tinnies, and you talk about the big three as they were coming down the board. You must have kind of kept your fingers crossed that they'd fall to you.
Yeah, I think the one we were really crossing our fingers on was Sanchez. We felt like he had a chance to go before us. There weren't, I don't think anyways, a lot of teams that were really high on Syndergaard. He was kind of a late bloomer, so to speak, where early in the year he was probably, pitching that 88 to 90 range. In his last high school start, we saw he was 90 to 96. In fact, the last pitch of his high school career in a playoff game was 95 on the black in the 7th inning. And our area scout, Steve Miller, who's now one of our regional cross-checkers up here, did a great job. Saw him pitch 9 times and got us on him. And, obviously, we feel like he has a huge upside. And Nicolino, I think the same sort of thing. We liked him. We saw him pitch. We loved his competitiveness. I think we felt pretty comfortable that we were going to get him where we got him. Our special assistant, Dana Brown, loved him. And, we had a lot of looks at him. And he's another one who's probably, as far as pitchability, maybe the best of the three.
Is there a surprise in that draft that you see 2-3 years from now might surprise some of these people?
The 2010 draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the names up there, and Sean Nolan was the last one listed, and Nolan's done a great job in Dunedin. He was a junior college left-hander who had 4 pitches, and big 6'4", 6'5" guy who actually lost a ton of weight. He's worked really hard, and he looks like he's got a shot.
Let's take a look at your second draft, 2011, as you had a second year and a chance to really get things rolling with this next draft, and it looks like you also have some real gems in this draft.
Sure, and Jacob Anderson obviously was the first one we signed, and Jacob, we feel like, has a chance to hit for average and power. He's a big athletic kid. Musgrove, Comer, Norris are 3 high school arms with a lot of upside. Dwight Smith, son of Dwight Smith Sr., really accomplished hitter, left-handed bat. And the 2 college pitchers in there, Stilson and DeSclafani, are guys who, for where we got them, we felt like we got a lot of value. Pitchers who are, anywhere from 90 to 95, that have some good secondary stuff and, have a chance to pitch in the big leagues.
I think both those guys are very interesting because they didn't get the chance to pitch an awful lot in college, and you guys scouted their talent without having a whole lot of numbers in front of you.
Yeah, it was a tough, I'll tell you what, DeSclafani, it was a tough one for him. He was really pitching on the best pitching staff in college baseball, and he really didn't have a defined role. We felt like he had a shot to start. He's doing a nice job right now. Stilson pitched very well for Texas A&M, but was kind of shut down at the end of the year, and our doctors felt like, hey, this is worth taking a shot at. He pitched last night in Dunedin. He was 91 to 96, sitting at 94 for 5 innings. So, we're pretty excited about that one.
You were talking about makeup earlier of the ball player. How much of that is a factor in drafting a kid?
It's very important. I think that there's a lot of players with tools. I think, you go through the minor leagues, you see players with tools. But what sets them apart, I think, is that competitiveness, that sheer will to win. And I don't think too many teams felt like Dustin Pedroia was going to become what he ultimately has become, and a lot of that is because of his makeup, his composure, his heart, his determination. And so, it's important for us to find that out, and, we really rely on our area scouts to dig on that sort of thing and try and find out what is this player made of.
That's an important relationship, and I know in talking with Drew Hutchison, he said that's what really sold him is the relationship he had with the scout.
Right.
That he got to know over the course of his high school career.
And Drew, for where we got him, John Lalonde, our scouting director at the time, Mike Mangan, one of our national cross-checkers, these guys did a tremendous job evaluating this player, and we were fortunate enough to, really have the money to spend on him. He was signed at Stetson, and he chose to start his professional career, and obviously, the rest is history. He's out here last night pitching basically at 90-95, so that's exciting to see.
How many players have you seen this year?
I have probably seen, gosh, it feels like I've been on the road the whole year, but I've probably seen about 150 players over the course of the year. I think I've kind of doubled and tripled back on some of the higher guys that, we may be focusing on the first round, but it's been a grind, but we've got a great staff, and, I think overall, we're in pretty good position. We're going to be ready for Monday's draft.
When you go in for the final stop, so do you take another set of eyes with you in that particular stop, just in case, you might see something, the other guy might? Are there more than one of your top scouts that go in to see a guy toward the end?
Yeah, I think, early on, we try and spread ourselves out across the country. There's so much going on. There's so many players who are, I guess, in play. And as we kind of narrow the scope towards the end, we really try to zero in. And, I might go in with one of our national guys. I might go in with Dana Brown, our special assistant. May go with the area scout just to kind of get a recap on the year on how the player's done, a little more history. So it really varies depending on the time, depending on the day, so to speak. But absolutely, we do try and get some common looks late in the year.
Edwin Encarnacion, long deep drive to left. It is foul. No doubt about the distance. He just got out in front.
Another fastball on the inner half to Edwin Encarnacion, and he pulls the trigger just a hair too soon. Watch this one. It's fair, and it's hooking, and just foul down the left field line. Within 2-2.
He's already gone deep tonight. Led off the second with his 17th home run. Upstairs.
I know we've talked about philosophy, and I know the CBA has changed a little bit, but high school player, college player, preference?
I wouldn't say preference. I think that, again, line them up on ability. Obviously we've leaned a little bit more towards high school players the last couple of years, and I think that maybe that just kind of is us maybe being aggressive, looking for the player with maybe a little bit more upside. But at the same time, there are college players with upside, so no real specific philosophy, just, again, more best player available.
Well, Andrew, we certainly thank you for your time, and I know it's a busy time for you, and you probably enjoy a little bit of a break to get away from it.
Yeah. I think once the draft ends, we'll kind of sit back and recap, and hopefully we'll have a great draft. We're really excited.
Full count, foul back. I have one final question. With the new CBA, we don't want to get into the details. Do you suspect that there will be quicker signings this year than there have been in the past?
I do. I think that, it's a little bit more clear-cut. I think that a lot more players will, I guess, let us know what they want a little bit earlier, be more, I guess, more excited to get out right away and just get things done. So I think from that perspective, players from the draft will get more at-bats, more innings right away, which should be good for pro baseball.
Encarnacion pops it up. Better meet at third. Makes the catch, and Andrew Tinnish, we want to thank you for your time and good luck next Monday.
Thanks,
and hopefully
guys.
everything will work out.
I appreciate it. Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
So much, Andrew.
Okay.
We have played 3. Rajay Davis, his 3rd home run, has given the Blue Jays a 2-1 lead. upcoming draft. Let's take a look at the farm report. Again, looking back at Las Vegas, Anthony Gose, a 13-game hit streak, hitting .455. Travis d'Arnaud, a 10 home run month in the month of May. And both of these guys were high draft picks. Gose was a second-round pick of the Philadelphia Phillies in 2008, and d'Arnaud was a first-round pick. Marvelous talent, and they are flourishing in the minor leagues for the Blue Jays.
Gose has 23 stolen bases already this year. He's only been thrown out 5 times, and he's scored 46 runs already in 51 games.
We saw them both in spring training as they had an extensive run with the Blue Jays during the month of March, and both showed very well. In fact, Anthony Gose had a 4 stolen base game, including second, third, and home in 1 inning. 2 balls and a strike to Matt Wieters. Top of the 4th inning. Brandon Morrow has a 2-1 lead.
Isn't it an exciting time of the year for baseball teams? The first part of June. You've got the draft coming up, a chance to really restock your farm system.
Well, baseball's done a good job because they have made it such an event now. Alex Anthopoulos, of course, has been involved in those meetings. That's Perry Manishin on his left, and Perry is the director of professional scouting. But yeah, it's a big event now, and there are going to be baseball players go to the draft in Secaucus, which never really happened before. I think Major League Baseball has confirmed that there are 5 players that are going to attend. They anticipate they'll all be high first-round picks. The appeal down to third, and Doug Innings said that Wieters went around. And Wieters strikes out, and Wieters probably thinking that Doug Innings is down to third. He's the guy that threw me out last night.
Questioning balls and strikes against Rajay Davis, and got him again. Check swing, hard breaking ball for a Morrow. Matt Wieters, I think he knew that he might have gone around a little bit too far.
So that's the first out of the top of the 4th. Mark Reynolds with a big swing at a fastball. You know, the other thing that happens after the draft is when these drafted players sign, they'll need a place to play. So everybody starts to move up the ladder. The 2 short season teams, Bluefield and Vancouver, will stock their teams. 22, 23 players apiece. Most of those players will be first-year players. Some of them are in extended spring right now, just waiting to play. And then you'll have the Gulf Coast League.
Yeah, you've got the young guys in the Gulf Coast League, so they really have 3 short season A-ball teams that need a place to play. And there's players, like you said, already in spring training on those teams. So when these draft picks come, they need a place to play. And when you say move up the ladder, guys get shoved up the ladder. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the big 3 that we were talking about in Lansing, the big pitchers, Syndergaard, Sanchez, and Nicolino, move up to Dunedin.
The lower level of the Blue Jays system is well stocked with pitching. The position players are in AAA right now. Gose, d'Arnaud, Echeverria, Yan Gomes,
Snyder.
Although Snyder's hurt right now, he is down in Florida, but that's where the position players are in AAA. And John Farrell knows there's a little bit of a gap. They've got young pitchers here in their starting rotation, and then that real core of pitching is in the Midwest League. Two balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball. Reynolds strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 4th.
Save during the Beauty Tone paint sale, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful night in Toronto. The final of a 3-game series against the Orioles. Nelson Betemit singled to center his last time up.
Fastballs over like Betemit was sitting on something a little bit slower than that 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, that's easy cheese right there.
Now you can bend one off right here.
Reached back for a little extra and elevated it.
Yeah, you could tell Betemit wanted to swing after he took 2 fastballs right down the middle. His thought process was, I'm not taking another one. And that's why you could spin one in right there, and I think he would have swung at it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Not going to swing at that one. Bounced in front of home plate.
The timing and rhythm for Brandon Morrow, I thought, was very good in the first inning. He walked a batter and walked another one in the second inning. He came around to score. The whole key, I think, to his windup and something that he worked on with Bruce Walton was that turn. If he gets a good turn, it really slows his lower half down and lets his arm catch up.
Very patient slider right there. Brandon Morrow strikes out the side. Hard breaking ball on a full count. Betemit goes after it. Brought to you by the all-new Toyota Camry.
Well, Brett Lawrie, inside the numbers, you can see last year in 2011, 38% of the balls that he hit were ground balls. This year, 45% have been fly balls. It's opposite this year. More ground balls for Lawrie. And I think a lot of that has to do with he's moving a little bit too much in the plate, and it's not allowing him to drive the ball to the outfield. 55% of the balls he hits are ground balls. Just 26% have been fly balls. See that swing right there from Lawrie. His lower half is going a little bit too far. That takes his head towards the ball, and it just makes it tough to catch up to the fastball. Pitchers have been pitching him a little bit differently.
There's a fly ball deep to center, and watch it go out of the yard. Number 4 for Brett Lawrie. 3rd home run of the night for the Jays.
Threw him a breaking ball the previous pitch, and he swung over the top of it, missed it, then tried to come right back with the fastball, and that's the swing that the Blue Jays have been looking for. Stay back on that ball and get the ball airborne. and drive it out of the ballpark. Certainly strong enough, and with that quick bat he was putting on a display in BP today. Stay behind the ball and drive it into the outfield.
He had a great session yesterday before batting practice with Dwayne Murphy. And Murphy felt like he was getting close. Certainly with 3 hits last night, a home run here tonight. Great sign. He doesn't have to pull the ball and hit it out of the ballpark.
You have to put a good swing on it, and that was a good swing. Stayed behind it, used his hands, and didn't get beat by a fastball.
We mentioned Jason Hamill had given up but 3 home runs all season long. The Blue Jays have touched him up for 3 of their own here tonight.
Hamill just coming off one of his best outings of the season when he shut out the Kansas City Royals 5 days ago for 6 innings to go along with 7 strikeouts.
And the ball hit to center field. Adam Jones has a beat on it, makes a running catch. David Cooper's retired. That's the first out of the 4th. Blue Jays have now hit 71 home runs for the season. Texas has 76. The Orioles have 75. New York with 74. So the Blue Jays are right there. They're 4th in the American League in home runs.
We'll have some of these young hitters start to figure it out as the season goes along. Hitters like Colby Rasmus, I think he's good for 20 to 25. Same thing with Brett Lawrie. JP Arencibia has started to put together his home run stroke.
Little looper in the left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Arencibia fights it off and flares it into left.
Only Derek Lowe, James Shields, Justin Masterson has a higher ground ball percentage than Jason Hamill. Buck Showalter is watching pitches that are up in the strike zone. Here's another one. Curveball that backs up. It's high enough where Arencibia can reach it and just loops it into left field for a base hit. It's got to stay down. It's got to get the ball down to be effective.
Hamill has been bothered by a sore right knee. And it looks like he's really not able to drive that ball down. Vizquel with a perfect bunt. Safe at first base as Reynolds came off the bag.
What a play by the Gold Glove catcher, Matt Wieters. He almost took a perfect bunt and took a hit away from Vizquel. He comes out very quickly, bare hands it, and when he spins to make the throw, he's just off target a little bit. And Reynolds has to reach and he pulls him off the bag.
Mark Reynolds got his feet crossed. If he goes the other way and stretches, he has a better chance of stretching for that throw.
He's a right-handed throwing first baseman, and you want to give the catcher a target on the inside. He has his left leg on the bag. You're right, if he's the other way, he's able to stretch a little bit further.
3 hits in the inning, including a leadoff home run by Brett Lawrie. Rajai Davis homered his last time up. And he tries to bunt. Davis put down a perfect bunt in last night's game. And when he homered back in the 3rd inning, he had squared the bunt and got some chin music.
Out here every day working with Torey Lovullo. That bunt you were just talking about last night by Rajai Davis, the first time that he tried to bunt to third base in 2 years and was successful. Kept it fair and put it in a good spot and then just outran the baseball. He likes to push the drag bunt towards the second baseman and outrun the ball.
Brian Butterfield reminding Arencibia, ball in the dirt. You should be over here at third if he throws that breaking ball in the dirt. There's the breaking ball in the dirt. Didn't get away from Wieters. Vizquel with that bunt single. He's done it a couple of times in the past. That's his 155th bunt base hit. Inside, 2-2.
155 bunt hits. Well, he can handle that bat.
Looks like he's playing catch with that bat. Catching the ball on the barrel. Sharply hit. Hardy to second for one. Back to first. Dug out by Reynolds. That'll end the inning. But the Blue Jays get an extra run. They have a 3-1 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry broadcast studio. Includes a baseball, hat, pennant, and an invitation to an exclusive autograph session with the Blue Jays. Membership is only $19.99. Log on to BlueJays.com/kids or call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1750 to join the Blue Jays Junior Jays Club. Sign up today. Lots of kids on hand. It's a gorgeous night here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays up 3-1. Ryan Flaherty drove in a run his first time up, the only run the Orioles have, on an infield single. Chris Walton always talks about Brandon Morrow, and of course he thinks the world of his stuff. And when Morrow is on with his fastball command, he believes that you could just go ahead and make quality pitches with your fastball.
Down on the corner, inside, outside.
Popped in the air. Lawrie over in foul territory. Stays with it and makes the catch.
Brandon Morrow's 2 complete game shutouts, one against the Los Angeles Angels, the other one against the New York Mets, were almost carbon copies of themselves. He had great fastball command, and he can dot that outside corner of the right-hander, like he said after that game, with his eyes closed. I mean, that's how in control he was with his fastball. And I don't care who you are, if you can throw the fastball at his speed and place it where he wants to, you're not going to hit it.
No. You can tell the batter it's coming. You can see right there, Andino was all geared up for the fastball, and he's still late.
And that wasn't even a good one. That one was up just a little bit, caught too much of the plate.
One thing I always did when I was catching was just kind of go with the flow of what a pitcher had. If they had a good fastball, we just ride it as long as you could. Why not?
Yeah, that's a great theory. When a guy is throwing it every single time where he needs it, why change?
I think Brandon's getting there. You know, oftentimes young starters will think that they've got to throw every pitch to every batter every inning. big league hitters are going to hit everything. That's not the case.
That's not the case at all.
0-2. Good finish pitch right there. Slider on the corner. Andino strikes out. That's 5 now for Morrow.
Got to keep the ball away from Robert Andino. And Morrow does. A couple of high fastballs and then a sharp breaker down and away. Pick up his 5th strikeout.
Well, Morrow can speed up the bats with that good fastball. Get the hitters thinking about 94, 95, and they've got to react quickly. First pitch curveball. They want more of that. Lots of Ks, 5 so far. Ball and a strike. Popped into center. Rasmus waits on it. That'll end the inning. A 1-2-3 fifth for Brandon Morrow. By Baseball Canada and Little League Canada. Edmond, Alberta will be the site July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at TELUS Field. The instructors include Lloyd Mosby, Homer Bush, Rance Mullinex, and Dwayne Ward. Visit BlueJays.com/Baseball Academy. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. And you can bet that on Monday there are going to be some Canadian baseball players picked in the Major League Draft. Canada is really starting to develop some fine baseball prospects, big league players like Lawrie, and there's going to be more taken in the upcoming draft.
Bob Elliott does a good job of keeping us all abreast of the players that are in Canada.
Well, he should. He's a Hall of Famer.
I know. He takes great pride in it.
Yes, he does. He does a lot of hard work to
Yes, he does. And
follow all the Canadians, and not only the amateur ones, but the ones that are in the minor leagues.
And it gives us a chance to see some of those names for the first time and then keep our eyes open in the draft for them.
Escobar bounces it to second. Andino throws him out. Yeah, no, it's really become a pretty good hotbed of baseball talent all the way across Canada. And the kids that aren't playing in high school out west in Canada, or the ones that have gone down into the States to play in college, now they're representing themselves very well and becoming subject to the draft and working their way into professional baseball. Colby Rasmus got 0 for 2 so far tonight. High and deep drive, looking up Ryan Flaherty. Rasmus has just left the building. number 6 for Colby Rasmus.
He was robbed of a hit his first time up by a nice defensive play by Andy Chavez in left field. So he doesn't leave any doubt where that ball ends up. No one's going to catch this one. Short, smooth swing, and he was waiting for that first pitch. Fastball down the middle, and it's not coming back.
Breaking ball strike to Jose Bautista. Jason Hamill, for the first time in his big league career, has given up 4 home runs in a game. Bautista goes center field, but that'll stay in the yard. Adam Jones in front of the warning track makes the catch.
This is a picture-perfect swing to me by Colby Rasmus. He's on top of the plate. It's short. It's got extension and lift to it. That home run swing is starting to come around for Colby.
I think he likes his new home.
Yes. Look at the smile on his face. Loves his teammates.
Colby's a good teammate. Off the end of the bat, and that'll split the shift and go into left field for Edwin Encarnacion, his second hit of the night. The Orioles swept the Blue Jays the last time these two met back at Camden Yards. Blue Jays trying to return the favor here tonight. Wayne Murphy. Wayne Murphy went down to Alabama in the offseason and watched Colby work out, or watched him hit a bit. And they've developed a pretty good relationship. Lawrie hit his 4th home run of the season to lead off the 4th. Blue Jays all of a sudden have become much more aggressive at the plate.
Yeah. Tampa, Texas, even the Mets series, a lot of first pitch fastballs that were going right down the middle, and they were taking them. Now they are becoming a little bit more aggressive early in the count.
Popped up. Foul ground down the right field line. Robert Andino, long running catch. A nice effort by Andino. And that ends the inning. The Blue Jays are done in the 5th. Colby Rasmus, his 6th home run. Getting comfortable here with the Jays. More baseball coming up later on tonight. It'll be the Yankees and the Angels on Sportsnet West and Pacific. It all starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Ivan Nova goes to the mound at 5-2 for New York. to be opposed by Irvin Santana, 2-6. The Angels have won 8 in a row. The Yankees have dropped 2 straight to the Angels. And you look at that AL East, it's getting pretty jammed up. 3.5 games separate top to bottom. Blue Jays have a chance to close ground and move in on the Yankees.
All 5 teams over 500 in the American League East.
Both the National League East and the American League East feature teams all over 500. Philadelphia 26-25. They are last in the National League East. 4 games behind the Washington Nationals. How about that?
And we get to play all those teams. The Blue Jays get to see them this year. Washington, Philadelphia, Atlanta,
Miami. This division looks to be tight all year long. James Shields lost to the White Sox. Tampa Bay has lost 3 in a row. Baltimore's lost 4 in a row. Sharply hit, but Vizquela's there. Hardy's retired.
White Sox beat the Rays again this afternoon with Alex Cobb on the hill. So injuries might be catching up to Tampa Bay.
Desmond Jennings ran the bases today and actually slid just to test his knee, and he's probably going to start a rehab tomorrow at Port Charlotte in the Florida State League, so he's getting close. This Davis, a big wild swing. Davis coming into this game over his last 12 previous games has hit .422.
He's had a good month of May also. He's hit 5 home runs this month.
Right there, 2 breaking balls, and he waves at him. Now it's time to elevate that fastball.
Yeah, about letter high. Throw that fastball up the top part of the strike zone.
One and two.
As a hitter, when you see 3 pitches in the same spot 3 straight times, time to start moving things around.
Fastball is fouled back.
Yeah, you just see that same thing over and over and over. Pretty soon you set your sights on that curveball and you see it a little bit better.
Yeah, I used to have that argument with Dave Stieb all the time. He wanted to throw slider after slider after slider, and he had the best slider in the world.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for it every pitch, sooner or later you're going to hit one. Ball is fouled out. And this is a good example right there. That's a high fastball. Throw it a little bit higher. Because he's in a swing mode. He's got 2 strikes. He's chased 2 breaking balls down in the dirt. Now he's been late on 2 fastballs. Just throw one a little higher. Breaking ball, and he tried to overthrow it.
Well, you want to go to your best pitch right here. It's 2-2. You don't want to go to 3-2.
Came back with a slider and strikes out Chris Davis. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Middlebrooks, his 6th home run of the season. He now has 21 RBIs. He's kind of pushed Kevin Youkilis off third base.
And Adrian Gonzalez to right field.
How about that? Youkilis playing first. Gonzalez is playing right. Adam Jones. Powder River. Jones is 0-for-2.
Now what? I mean, as a hitter, when you're facing a pitcher like Brandon Morrow, who's got two outstanding pitches, I think, the fastball and the slider, and then above average pitches, the curveball and the changeup, what do you look for? Right now, he can go anywhere to get Adam Jones if he wants to.
Hit him. Oh, man. That hit him on the left wrist.
That is their best player, and anytime you're catching that ball on your hand, you have a chance to fracture one of those bones in there. That's why you see Buck Showalter very upset at his best player getting hit with that fastball.
He lost Nick Markakis last night to a wrist injury on a swing. Richie Bancels, a longtime trainer, checking out Jones, and this ball is right on that fat pad of his left hand.
Square.
John appears to be okay, and he's going to stay in the ballgame. There's Markakis, who hurt his wrist.
Here's that pitch up and into Adam Jones. From the center field camera, you can tell it hit him right on the wrist. That side shot didn't really give you a good shot of where it actually hit him.
Well, Jones is on with 2 outs. Catcher Matt Wieters. First pitch strike. Wieters has gone 0 for 2 so far tonight. He's now 3 for his last 40.
Started this month at 300. And now sits at 228. That's the type of month that has been for Matt Wieters offensively. On May the 8th, he was hitting 300.
Everybody's focused in on Matt Wieters. Obviously, he's a good player. You try to figure out how you get out the good players, and right now he's got to counteract that adjustment. It was 196 for the month coming into this game. Morrow's ahead 0-2. Hard slider, and he is out of the inning. A couple of strikeouts here in the 6th. Morrow has 7 strikeouts. He gets Matt Wieters with another good slider. Middle of the 6th, Blue Jays lead 4-1. Boston Red Sox will be in town Friday night, June 1st. It all starts at 7:07 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday, both games start at 1:07 p.m. Good afternoon games. Come on out. Lots of tickets available. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com. Or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. The Boston Red Sox, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Henderson Alvarez, Kyle Drabek, Drew Hutchison, all the youngsters will be throwing against the Red Sox this weekend.
Blue Jays have a couple of off days. They have Thursday off and Monday off. A lot of people expected they might juggle their rotation. I didn't think that was going to be the case. Not a bad idea to give everybody a little extra day whenever you have a chance, and everybody's throwing the ball well. Why not just keep them online? Ball on a strike to David Cooper at his first extra base hit of the season in the second. Got a double down the left field line. Check swing, tapped foul. Jason Hamill has allowed 4 runs on 8 hits. Breaking ball, popped out of play. David Cooper was recalled on the 25th of May. He hit .298 in 42 games in AAA. Cooper won the batting title in the PCL last year. He's one of those guys. It took him a while to figure out pro ball. Spent 2 years in AA.
Not a lot of extra movement in his swing, which really bodes well for hitting for a high average.
.364 last year in AAA. The changeup had him out in front.
Save during the Beauty Tone paint sale, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Blue Jays lead the Orioles 4-1 as they bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pierre Ncibia goes after the first pitch, and it's a lazy fly ball into center. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Wow. Inning and 2/3, 8 runs. They're all unearned runs. I don't see an error. Maybe that's just not finished yet. Inning and 2/3 for Holland. 8 hits, 8 runs, 2 home runs. Ackley and Montero, as Jamie mentioned. They're getting a little dose of their own medicine.
Yeah, how's that feel? Take that. They're also going to get a dose of an extra pitcher in about a month, too.
Roy Oswalt signed a minor league deal with the Texas Rangers. Omar Vizquel, his second hit of the night. He had a bunt single in the 4th. Now he has a solid single to right. Two more hits for Vizquel. Rajay Davis has a home run tonight. Pulled off that pitch. Vizquel got a running start. Omar Vizquel picks up his first steal of the season, and it was no contest.
Yeah, he timed Jason Hamill. Watch him take off. A running start timing 1,000, 1,002. He takes off with no chance. And Rajay Davis throwing the fake bunt out there just to distract Wieters a little bit, taking that pitch all the way, allowing his teammate to get in the scoring position.
Ball on a strike. Hamill comes back with a good breaking ball. Well, Davis understands the mindset of a base stealer. When you get that kind of jump, you've got to take it.
Yeah, you can't go up there swinging when you've got a guy stealing like that. Even if it's strike two, I think you can go ahead and take it, because you could certainly much rather hit with a guy in scoring position.
And Davis strikes out. Wieters applies the tag, and the inning is over. Blue Jays get a base runner, but can't do a thing. After 6, Blue Jays lead 4-1. That's 12 for your iPad, iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android device. Listen to live radio broadcasts and receive batter-by-batter information for every game. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. A beautiful night here in downtown Toronto. The CN Tower standing high above Rogers Center. And Brandon Morrow keeping the Orioles in check. 1 run on 3 hits allowed by Morrow. He has a 4-1 lead as he is set to start the 7th.
All 7 strikeouts tonight by Brandon Morrow have been swinging. Knows he's got a good breaking ball working against the Orioles.
It'll be Reynolds, Betemeat, and Ryan Flaherty to bat for the Orioles. Omar Vizquel has 2 hits tonight. Now he has 2,850 hits. He's now tied for 42nd all time with Jesse Burkett. He is moving up the leaderboard with the all-time hits totals. 2,850 hits. He's also picked up his 402nd stolen base.
Amazing. Drops a bunt down for 1 hit, and then hits one into right field. 150 away from 3,000.
That's tempting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. He'd have to play another couple of years, and I don't know if he's up for that. Said he wants to manage. Man, he'd be a good one in my mind.
Gosh, to have this guy on your team just to go and talk to and have him teach you how to play the game.
Adams gets a piece of that breaking ball. Yeah, Omar Vizquel, he has obviously done just about everything he could do as a player. And now he is anxious to start his next career. Not necessarily right away, but he wants to be considered as a manager. Robin Ventura is off to a pretty good start to his managerial career. Robin didn't have any experience when Jerry Reinsdorf and Kenny Williams hired him to manage the White Sox.
They're in first place now, the Sox.
Half game ahead of that Cleveland Indians ball club. Morrow comes back with another slider and strikes out Reynolds. That's 8 strikeouts now for Morrow.
In 7 of the last 11 batters he has faced, he has struck him out, all swinging. Another breaking ball from Morrow. In a good spot.
Brandon struck out the side in the 4th. Had 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and now a strikeout to start the 7th. Hit right off of Morrow's leg, and he is hurt.
Boy, he is going to try and walk this one off, but I don't know if the Blue Jays should take a chance.
You can see Hap Hudson already shaking his head, and not sure where it hit Morrow, but it certainly hit him flush.
Looked like it got him right on the knee. Bullpen, as soon as he was hit, there was about 5 guys that stood up and started walking around.
It's one of the perils of pitching. Obviously, you're so close to that batter, and it looked like it hit him on the right ankle as that ball came right back to the mound. Bad news for the Blue Jays as Morrow has to be carried off this field. With 1 out in the 7th, we'll take a break and come back and hopefully give you an update on the status of Brandon Morrow. Wakamatsu without their options now, and Farrell has summoned Carlos Villanueva to come into this ball game. Villanueva actually came in relief of Brandon Morrow last Friday, albeit it was in the first inning. And Morrow couldn't get out of that first inning, and tonight he'll have plenty of time to get loose with one out here in the seventh.
Losing right along was Brandon Morrow, and then got hit right on the ankle. So Villanueva in for the 16th time. The run average keeps coming down. It's down to 464 now. Opponents hitting 235 against Villanueva. He's had 14 walks, 24 strikeouts, and 4 home runs given up. In his career versus the Baltimore Orioles, he's undefeated, 2-0 in 5 games, 3 starts. John Farrell's going to try and go in and find out about Brandon Morrow and how he is doing.
Brandon Morrow had a great night. 8 strikeouts, and everything was working. The slider, the hard curveball, the changeup, and the fastball. He had everything going.
It was a sharp breaking ball again for Morrow. 8 strikeouts, every one of them swinging, and you see some of the misses by the Baltimore Orioles, and then the ball that got him. It looked like it got him right on that ankle bone. He tried to walk it off, but that's the push-off leg. In a game like this, you're not going to risk anything tomorrow. He wasn't even able to walk off the field under his own power, so Villanueva's going to come in and get through this inning and then see where the Blue Jays land.
The Blue Jays have state-of-the-art X-ray equipment in their clubhouse, so I'm sure they will take an X-ray right away to see what the nature of the injury is. You can see Morrow can't put any weight on that right leg at all, being helped off the field. So I'm sure that the doctor has been summoned to the clubhouse. The training staff will take over and they'll get an X-ray of that. Hopefully we'll have some news on Morrow's status here shortly. Carlos Villanueva threw 66 pitches last Friday in relief. Went 4 1/3 against Texas. So he's had plenty of time to rest.
He'll throw everything at you. Fastball, curveball, changeup. Again, much better in his recent outings. Villanueva throwing more quality pitches and getting a little bit more quality time out there.
Ryan Flaherty has a single in 2 trips, drove in a run. Wilson Betemeet at first. 1 out. Popped up. Aaron Seavey will give it a look. Over the screen and out of play. Top of the 7th inning. John Farrell has returned to the dugout bench. Pointing to the lower leg, indicating where Morrow was hit by that comebacker. A similar situation earlier in the year against Tampa Bay when Adam Lind hit Jeff Neiman, a comebacker. Neiman suffered a fractured leg. Roy Halladay a couple of years ago suffered the same injury, and hopefully that's not the case with Brandon Morrow.
Yeah, I think it was Kevin Metch of the Texas Rangers who hit a line drive right back at him down in Arlington, and he was out for about 6 weeks.
No breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Those line drives come right back at you on that pitcher's mound, just 60 feet 6 inches away when you start your delivery.
Yeah. Knock off about 6 when you're in your follow through. And then you just don't have time to get down and get a glove on it. He knows what it feels like. One comes back at you that quickly.
1-2 to Ryan Flaherty. It's a 4-1 ball game. Orioles took a lead with a single run in the second. Blue Jays had a single run in the second, third, fourth, and fifth. All solo home runs. Fly ball into right. Bautista calling for it. There it is, retied. Carlos Villanueva is a very valuable part of this bullpen, a guy that can come in and give you any kind of situation you need. Opening day, he was there to pitch late in that 16-inning game. Villanueva threw 2 1/3 after entering the game in the 10th. And we mentioned his 4 1/3 outing against the Rangers.
Too many bullpens nowadays have too many one-inning guys. Blue Jays have the luxury of having a couple of guys who can give you multiple innings. You got Jesse Chavez down there now, who gave the Blue Jays 5 innings the other day. Villanueva, Rui Perez can give you multiple innings.
Aaron Laffey is down in the bullpen as well, who started at AAA, so they've got plenty of length in their bullpen. High breaking ball. 2-1 to Robert Andino.
I think you have to keep the ball away from Andino. Make him reach for the ball. Pitch is on the inside part of the plate. He's hitting about 350. And the Blue Jays have done a good job in this series keeping it away from him. When they've missed and they've come inside, he's hit the ball hard against them.
Hits that ball hard, and that's a foul ball. Just foul down the left field line. Don't you find that's the case with most extra players? And that's what Andino has been most of his career. That they're strong to the pull side of the field just because they don't get to play much.
Yeah, they don't get the chance to learn how to hit the ball the other way. You can see that ball hooking when it's fouled by a couple of feet down the left field line. And when they do get a chance, and they get a pitch on the inside part of the plate, they're going to be ready for it.
Everyday players get 4 or 5 at-bats a day, and they see all kinds of pitches, and they generally handle the off-speed pitches and pitches away from them more effectively. 2-2, 2 outs. Hopped up. Should be playable. Encarnacion on the warning track. The inning is over. Carlos Villanueva comes on and gets the last 2 outs. Top of the order when we come back. Escobar. Colby Rasmus with a home run. Jose Bautista Presented by Boston Pizza. The next Junior Day Saturday is June 2nd. The Blue Jays will entertain the Boston Red Sox. Game time, 1:07 p.m. Special kids prize tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After each Saturday home game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 for tickets. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. The next Junior Jays Saturday is June 2nd. Top of the order, 7th inning. Escobar cuts on the first pitch and fouls it back on the play. Escobar has grounded out 3 times to the second baseman. Drives this ball to right. Ryan Flaherty gets over and makes the catch just in front of the warning track. Brandon Morrow had to leave after 1 out in the 7th. He had a comebacker hit him in the right leg. He had an outstanding outing.
Yeah, 94 pitches for Morrow as he worked into the 7th inning. Just 4 hits. The only run that he gave up, it was after walking a couple of singles by Benedict and Flaherty. And that was it. Getting stronger as the game was going along. He just gave up 1 hit after the 3rd inning. And that was the one that knocked him out of the game.
Colby Rasmus has hit 1 of 4 Blue Jay home runs. His 6th of the season.
They got that shift on him now that they realize he's starting to pull the ball. That's J.J. Hardy on the first base side of second, right behind the pitcher.
Rasmus' swing now has so much conviction. Not tentative at all. Pitches away, he turns it loose. Inside, he drops his hands and throws the barrel at it.
Had a couple of months in the American League last year to learn some of these pitchers. It's always tough when you change leagues.
Breaking ball for a strike.
But he's worked hard. He's eliminated that high leg kick that was really throwing off his timing and had a lot of moving parts to his swing. Now he seems to be very still. He's got a beautiful swing. There's nothing wrong with the swing path of his bat.
Caught looking at that inside fastball. Jason Hamels. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. Jose Bautista will step in. Bautista is 0 for 2 with a walk. That might have been in response to Adam Jones being hit back in the 6th. Kept it down around his legs.
Yep. You see Wieters move right inside. Knocks him back.
Breaking ball into dirt. 2-0. Jones was hit on an 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and in. Hit him on the left hand. Inside 3-0. We got good news about Brandon Morrow. It's a right shin contusion. The x-rays were negative and he is day to day. That's great news.
Took him 16 minutes to get that. That is good news. It could have been a broken leg, broken ankle.
Yeah, that's great news. That's the best you could hope for. And Bautista walks on 4 pitches with 2 outs here in the 7th. And Jason Hamels will hand the ball off. Darren O'Day, the sidearmer, will come in to face Edwin Encarnacion when we come back. Start for the first time in his career. He allows 4 home runs in this ball game. They go 6 2/3. Gives up 9 hits. The runner at first, Bautista, is his responsibility, and he'll turn things over to the sidearmer, Darren O'Day.
It's been a great year for Darren O'Day so far. 23 games, 19 games of those 23 have been scoreless. Look at the numbers all the way around. 3-0, the 1.7 earned run average. And it's not just the league. The Blue Jays have had trouble figuring out Darren O'Day in their career. They have hit combined against O'Day in their career just 204. Sidewinder, keeps the ball low, a lot of sink to it. Sinker slider type of pitcher.
Edwin Encarnacion, playing at first base tonight, has a home run and a single. Hits this ball into center field. Adam Jones over to his right. O'Day needs 1 pitch to close out the bottom of the 7th. We played 7 complete. It's 4-1 Jays. Coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Have the Blue Jays with you anywhere you go and watch on your smartphone. Francisco Cordero comes into this ball game. His 3rd straight appearance. His 23rd appearance of the season.
third of an inning in game 1 in this series against the Orioles. 2/3 of an inning last night with a strikeout to pick up his 5th hold of the season. And now 3 nights in a row for Francisco Cordero.
Top of the order. First pitch outside. We had mentioned throughout this series how tough the Orioles have been in the 8th and 9th inning against the Blue Jays. They have done a great job all season long, hanging in there and scoring runs late.
14 runs for the Orioles this season against the Blue Jays from the 8th inning on. That's a lot.
2-1.
They have also hit 6 home runs from the 8th inning on against the Blue Jays this year.
Chavez pokes it foul as he's trying to get on base. Lefty and righty up for the Blue Jays. Oliver the left-hander, Frazier the right-hander. Bullpen starting to sort itself out after that rough stretch in Texas. Chavez strikes out. Good hard breaking ball from Cordero.
Save during the Beauty Tone paint sale, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Orioles have struck out 9 times tonight. Shortstop J.J. Hardy takes his strike.
Hardy too has had a very good month of May, over 300 this month with 7 home runs. He too likes the ball inside. He likes to turn on it, so the Jays have kept it away from him.
Hits this ball hard, but right to the glove of the shortstop. 2 quick outs here in the 8th. Chris Davis has walked, flied out, and struck out. Takes a hit away from Chris Davis. He's had a couple of hits tonight. Cordero has a 1-2-3-8 inning. 11-time Gold Glover. Vizquel flashing the leather. Now Jamie Campbell. just gets it. He dropped the ball in off the field and gives it to a young fan sitting in the first row, and a couple of happy kids right there. A great souvenir from a great player, Omar Vizquel. He's class all the way. Got a big night. Bunt single, line drive single, that took a hit away from Chris Davis. Pedro Strop, hard-throwing right-hander in. He has not pitched in this series, and he needs to get some work.
Yeah, last pitched on Saturday when he suffered his second loss of the season, but it's been a great year so far. 3-2, 140 earned run average, averaging almost 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. He keeps the ball on the ground. He's got 3 very good pitches, a fastball, curveball, and a split-finger fastball that he can get a lot of strikeouts with.
His pitch breaking ball for a strike. Strop was claimed off waivers from Texas September 1st last year. Finished up the season working in 12 games for the Orioles. Gives you an idea how deep Texas is in pitching. They could put Pedro Strop on waivers.
Darren O'Day used to pitch for the Texas Rangers also. So the Baltimore Orioles are picking up the pieces of the Texas Rangers. Tommy Hunter was over there also. He is now on this pitching staff.
Tommy Hunter came in a trade for Koji Uehara, who is pitching out of the Rangers bullpen now.
But you're right, Strop has looked great in the 8th inning, pitching in front of Jim Johnson.
First out of the 8th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Strop strikes out Lawrie. That was the first pitch strike to David Cooper. Cooper's gone 1 for 3. We mentioned the draft. We were talking with the director of amateur scouting of the Blue Jays, Andrew Tinnish. The 2012 amateur draft comes up on Monday, and David Cooper was a first-round pick. Foul ball. Cooper was a first-round pick, 17th pick overall in the 2008 draft. And isn't it interesting how you get up into that top 15, 18, 20 rounds, or 20 slots in the first round. Large percentage of those players are going to play in the big leagues.
Blue Jays picked number 17 this year. Cooper was the 17th player picked overall. Roy Halladay was right in that area. I know C.C. Sabathia, when he was picked by the Cleveland Indians, was right in that area. 17 to 20, 22. So you can find some good big leaguers in the lower part of the first round.
Breaking ball fouled back. Full count. Clippers putting up a battle here against Strop. One thing we've seen over the last couple of years in the American League East, you've got to have power arms in your bullpen. Guys that can strike out batters. And Strop certainly has that ability. And then you got Jim Johnson back in the bullpen. We haven't seen Johnson, of course, in this series. Johnson for the Orioles is 16 for 16 in save opportunities. And they've got big arms. Off the plate, Cooper will take the walk. We'll be right back at it Friday night. The Boston Red Sox are in town. Henderson Alvarez at 3-4 will go to the mound for the Blue Jays. He'll be opposed by Clay Buchholz. Buchholz has an 8.69 ERA on the road. That's the highest in the American League. It all starts Friday, June 1st, right here on Sportsnet. The action begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show. Henderson Alvarez, anxious to start. Disappointed he was ejected from his last start on Saturday down in Texas. How about the trio of starters for the Blue Jays in that Red Sox series? Henderson Alvarez, Kyle Drabek, and Drew Hutchison.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. They get a chance to face some experienced hitters. Chance to go out there and learn something against some good hitters.
J.P. Arancibia fouls off the inside fastball.
The Red Sox might be banged up, but they can still swing the bat.
Clay Buchholz will open it up for Boston, as we mentioned. His ERA for the season is 7.19. Felix Duran starting to get things straightened out, as will start it. And Daniel Bard, the converted reliever, now in the rotation, 5-5 for the season. No John Lester and no Josh Beckett. Arancibia caught looking at a fastball. That's his second strikeout for Strop this inning.
And Lester pitched tonight for the Boston Red Sox, so they will miss him finally. This fastball with a little movement right at the end. That bullpen for the Orioles, second in the American League in earned run average at 234. And they are second in strikeout to walk ratio.
You mentioned John Lester. He did start for the Red Sox against the Tigers at Fenway, 6 2/3. He gave up 10 hits and 4 earned runs, and they are in the bottom of the 7th, it's a 4-4 game. Omar Vizquel off the end of the bat. J.J. Hardy to first. The inning is over. Strop has a clean inning in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Blue Jays up by 3. Casey Janssen coming on. Pitcher of the night for the Blue Jays is Casey Janssen, appearing in his 20th game of the season, looking for his 5th save.
He also is working his 3rd night in a row. Every night in this series against the Orioles, 2/3 of an inning the first night, very clean innings, and then an inning last night. And the Blue Jays had that 4-run lead. It came into a couple of hits, a couple of earned runs, and a walk, but overall very good numbers for Janssen. 20th game of the season. See if the juices are a little bit higher now in a save situation.
Tough part of the order. Jones, Wieters, and Reynolds. Adam Jones, his 20-game hit streak is online. He's hit into a fielder's choice, grounded into a double play, and was hit by a pitch. Jones extended his hit streak on Monday night in his final at bat. He had gone 0 for 3 up to that point, singled off Francisco Cordero.
And homered in his first at bat yesterday. Got great numbers against Jansen in his career.
2-1.
Sitting on the longest hitting streak by an Oriole since Brian Roberts did it back in 2005.
Jones is batting .314 with 16 homers and 34 RBIs. Three and one. That's the one thing Jones has said that has really helped him is he's not trying to hit every pitch. Taking the borderline pitches now, taking his walks, understanding more about the game situation.
There was a time that you could get him with breaking balls away. Now I think he understands what type of hitter he is.
Now for a preview of what's coming up next on Connected. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. Nobody out here. Runner at first base. Matt Wieters, the catcher, has gone 0 for 3. There's a strike. Wieters average down to 227. And a struggle for him in this month. That's the beauty of being a regular player. You know that you're going to be in there every night no matter what you're hitting. And it's your job.
For him, being a catcher, I think he's the best defensive catcher in the American League. That's first and foremost his job. Behind the plate, handling the pitching staff, throwing out runners, and anything he does offensively is a bonus, and he's a good offensive player.
Encarnacion steps on the bag for 1 out, throw to second base. They got Jones. Boy, what a good play by Encarnacion. He never hesitated, caught the ball and stepped on the bag for the first out and made a good throw to second.
A strong throw to second base. Right at him, just get the out. He was on top of the line, get the out. That's one right there, and then fires a bullet right over the shoulder of Adam Jones and completes the double play. Good tag by Escobar to get the out.
Mark Reynolds. Orioles down to their last out. Encarnacion is making his 15th start tonight at first base, and he has played very well there. Two. Blue Jays on the verge of a sweep. Jansen strikes out Mark Reynolds to complete the 3-game sweep over the Orioles. Home runs, 4 solo home runs tonight, the difference in the ball game. Brandon Morrow with a good outing picks up his 6th win of the season.
What an outing by Morrow to get the 8 strikeouts, the home runs off the bats of 4 Blue Jays. They also left 8 runners on base. Buck Showalter's going to have to figure it out because they go to Tampa and then Boston, but a good homestand beginning by the Blue Jays.
The Orioles have lost 5 in a row. The Blue Jays move to 3 games over 500. Stay tuned. Connected coming right up. Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman.